The boys who like to say no. God was very sad. Most of his people had stopped listening to him. They'd stopped talking to him and following his rules. Change your ways. God warned them. If you don't change your ways, you'll lose your special land I gave you long ago. But the people wouldn't listen. So God let the enemies defeat them and destroy their cities. He allowed them to carry them hundreds of miles away to be slaves in the land of Babylon. There were, however, a few of God's people who did not forget him. Among them were 4 young friends called Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These boys were clever and strong. So Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, decided to treat them very well. He gave them soft beds, rich food, and an education in the very best school. Why? Because he wanted them to forget the land they had left. But Nebuchadnezzar hadn't reckoned on them being the boys who liked to say no. King Nebuchadnezzar's chief servant was put in charge of turning the boys into good Babylonians.
For dinner tonight, he announced, we will be following the choices from the king's own menu. Pink pork sausages, plump pork slices of meat, and perfect pork pies.
The king's food looked good. But Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew it was made from something that was against God's rules. And God's rule says they should not eat it. These were the rules from their own land. The rules that God had given them. The rules and the land and the God they had promised never to forget. So they turned to the king's servants and together they said, "No!" The servant could not believe it. "No pink pork sausages," he said. "No," said Shadrach, "but I wouldn't mind a few carrots." "No plump pork slices of meat?" "No," said Meshach, "I'll just have a green salad." "And not even one perfect pork pie?" "No," said Abednego, "but some beans would be lovely." The servant said, "The king will be very angry. If you don't eat this food, you'll grow tired and ill. And then the king will punish me. Won't you change your mind, please?" "No," "No," said Daniel, "but we will not get you into trouble, for we will not grow tired and weak or ill. Tell your king that we wish to have a contest or a competition. For 10 days, the 4 of us will eat nothing but vegetables and water. The other boys in the palace can eat your food. And then we will see who is well and who is not." The servant agreed, and so did the king. For 10 days, the boys who liked to say no said no to everything. Everything but vegetables and water. While the other boys ate their fill of the king's food. What happened? Well, the God who Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego would not forget, that God did not forget them. At the end of the contest, the boys who liked to say no looked healthy and strong. Much healthier and stronger than the other boys, in fact. So then, from then on, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego were allowed to eat whatever they liked. All because they were loyal or faithful to their God. And because they were the boys who liked to say no.